There's a false type of Christianity that's willing to kill for Jesus, but's not actually willing to do what Jesus asked. On the night of Jesus' arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, in an attempt to prevent the officers from taking Jesus into custody, Peter swings a sword and cuts off the ear of Malchus, the servant of Caiaphas, the high priest. And the book of Luke states that Jesus then healed Malchus's wound, and John, Matthew, and Luke say that Jesus even rebuked Peter's violent act. But here's the thing. Peter wasn't swinging for the ear. Who aims for an ear? Peter was going for Malchus's head and missed. He was willing to kill for Jesus. Yet hours later, when a young woman confronts Peter about being with Jesus, Peter denies knowing Jesus 3 times, even going so far as to say, "A curse on me if I'm lying. I don't know the man." Here's a man willing to kill in Jesus' name, but is not willing to actually put his own self on the line when it counts. There's a version of Christianity willing to kill, but not truly sacrifice. There's a version of Christianity willing to act in its own self-interest and mask it in the name of the Lord, but in truth is anti-Christ in every way. And it's everywhere. Look in folks' comment sections. There are people willing to kill for Jesus and defend Jesus and rebuke others for Jesus. But when it comes down to it, they aren't willing to do what it is that he said do. The whole love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving your neighbor as you love yourself thing. People are willing to try and force others to believe like them, act like them, even lash out violently when they feel threatened, when they feel that their version of him is under attack. People are willing to condemn, to rebuke, and to kill with their words, their thoughts, and sometimes even their hands. They're willing to kill in the name of their faith to enforce their brand of Jesus on others, claim to speak for Jesus in the defense of the harm of others, and invoke Jesus' judgment when it's actually their judgment. Instead of turning the other cheek, offering forgiveness and doing justice, loving mercy and walking humbly with God. Instead of giving good news to the poor, healing to the brokenhearted, liberty to the prisoners, and recovery of sight to the blind, and freeing those who are oppressed, proclaiming the acceptable year of the Lord, that Jesus' love is the vengeance upon the darkness of the world. There are people willing to condemn from stages and from the anonymity of their social media profiles than to actually go out into the public sphere and be the hands and feet of Jesus, washing the feet of those that the world considers misled and unworthy. Truth is, it's easier to threaten others with hellfire, judgment, and condemnation than to serve, to give, and to love. But as true followers of Christ, that's what Christians are supposed to do. To love one another, and widows, orphans, and foreigners, and the sick, and the marginalized, and the weak and needy. I mean, I don't know. That's how Jesus said his true disciples would be known, for their love for one another. Not their theology, not their doctrine. By the giving of hope, the good news, the love and sacrifice of Jesus. So what do you spread? What have you been spreading? Are you willing to kill for Jesus? Because he never asked you to do that. But if you're driven by your anger and your misplaced passion, there's still hope for you, like there was hope for Peter. After the resurrection, Jesus made it a point to restore Peter. You know, Jesus being who Jesus is and forgiving Peter and letting Peter know who he really was in God's sight. You know, that kind of thing. And we know from extra biblical sources that Peter was executed in 64 AD after spending the rest of his life spreading the good news of Christ. And we're told that Peter went to his death willingly, held head high, being crucified upside down, because he said that he was unworthy to die in the same manner of Christ. Like Peter, you can still turn it around. Let's be like Jesus. Let's actually do what Jesus said do, which actually flies in the face of what most professing Christians actually do. Let's restore the broken, speak up for those who can't speak for themselves, and bring hope and life and be that shining city on a hill. And for the love of all that's holy, can we just stop killing each other with our words and actions? Because I don't know if you know this or not, but love wins. Which side are you on? Click the pinned videos for more.